She knows. They know what she was doing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yep.
you did choose to go to your brother-in-law's orgy.
Yeah. You went to the Cuddle Puddle.
That was a
You
whole
know what the
choice
deal
you
is.
made, ma'am.
Welcome to Flan-Again, a Mike Flan-Again rewatch, brought to you by the Articulate Coven. For more information on the original Anne Rice fan podcast and community, visit articulatecoven.com and find more about this show at articulatecoven.com/Flan-Again.
Welcome to Flan-Again, a Mike Flan-Again rewatch podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Ashley.
I'm Brat.
And Flan-Again is brought to you by the Articulate Coven, which is our sister podcast covering Anne Rice's immortal universe, the books, the TV shows, and other assorted accoutrements.
Indeed.
But this little side project is a rewatch podcast for Mike Flan-Again's fabulous shows and movies that we're completely obsessed with. How have you been, Brat?
I'm just dandy. How about yourself, Ashley?
Good.
Yeah.
How was your watch of this episode? We're on episode five.
Telltale Heart.
The Telltale Heart.
Classic. Wonderful. Great watch through on this one. This one is my cat is losing his mind over there. We're better friends now. If you watched last week, I'm better friends with him now. So
yes.
Have no fear.
Don't be alarmed.
We've figured it out.
We're figuring it out.
No, but this is an interesting episode because once again, a lot of things happen, but it all is centered around everybody kind of starting to spiral.
Yeah.
Really spiral. Like
this is the downhill slide of it all.
We're gaining momentum as we roll.
Absolutely. I talked a little bit about the Telltale Heart as a story last week. How do you feel about that story?
Oh, it's tremendous. There's a reason that it's one of Poe's most famous because everybody can get behind the feeling of guilt.
Yeah.
Everybody's had that at some point in time in life, hopefully, unless you're a dick.
Unless you're a monster.
Yeah, unless you're just trash. But everybody can get behind oh no, I'm feeling guilty and I don't want to get caught. I referenced The Simpsons doing that, and I looked it up. It was episode 6 of season 2. It's called,
wow, it's really early.
Yeah, it's called Lisa's Rival, and it's about a girl that comes in and is as good as Lisa at everything. And so they go for the diorama competition, and Lisa and Bart steal the Telltale Heart diorama that she made, that you turn it on and a little floorboard clicks up and down.
Up. That's awesome.
And they replaced it with a cow heart, and then they turn it in, and it doesn't. Principal Skinner doesn't like it anyway. He gives it to Ralph, who just has a diorama of old Star Wars action figures.
I'm in danger.
So, but it's great. That beating with that terrible heart. Yeah, it's check that early Simpsons. Always good.
Today's the 35th anniversary of The Simpsons.
Yeah, man.
Being on the air. That's fucking crazy.
That is wild.
And for that to be from season 2, bananas. I love it. It's one of my favorite stories.
I don't know. Brian pitched that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the one
that's
that
hilarious.
The whole thing.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite stories, period. Like in all of short stories, not just as far as Poe goes, but I just love it. I love like that slow, I mean, it's not slow. It happens very quickly, but it's like that jittering apart that happens, that descent into just complete madness.
Yeah. It escalates on that guy rapidly. Like he's okay. And then it starts to build and it gets worse and worse and worse.
Well, and it feels like you feel the rhythm of it too, when you're reading it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's got a cadence to it almost when you're reading it.
For sure.
It's so fantastic. I love it. And this episode kind of focuses on Victorine. This is kind of Victorine's downfall.
Yep.
She's played by Tania Miller, and she is fantastic, gorgeous. She is in Bly Manor. That's the other Flan-Again work that she's done. As far as I don't think she's in anything else. And she plays the sweetest character in that. I mean, she's just so kind and warm-hearted and concerned and nurturing and all of that. And this is again a very different type of character for her to get to play in this world. So I'm excited. Because she does not seem as bad as the other ushers, but yes, she is.
Once you dig in on her, because that's the thing, is that all of them have that facade that they can put up that I'm not a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person. You are. It's decayed. You on the inside.
Yeah, you can convince yourself of a lot of things. You can convince yourself that you're doing something for the greater good, or you can convince yourself of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But deep down, you're trash.
Well, your actions speak a lot more loudly than your words do.
Yes.
So
100%. 100%. Well, shall we dive in?
Let's go. Yeah,
let's dive into this one.
At the Raven of the Bar.
These bar scenes are my fucking favorite scenes in this whole series.
They're great.
I love them. I love these actors playing the young versions of Roderick and Madeline. I'm just obsessed with Willa Fitzgerald. Like, I want to go watch everything she's in now.
Yeah. She this definitely has convinced me to go and seek out her work.
Yeah, she's so good as Madeline. And I mean, they all just have great chemistry together. It's fantastic. They have this little exchange talking about ravens being the minions of Satan.
That's right. They're like, that's not always true.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, ravens are good guys in some cultures.
Yeah, some cultures.
Which I think that's true. They're too smart to. That's people's problems, is that they're smart.
Yeah.
And they just don't like those damn smart birds.
Yeah, crows and ravens.
Yep.
Very smart.
Smart birds.
Crows you can make buddies with crows.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume ravens are the same. Maybe not. Maybe they're not.
You could make friends with most birds.
But crows you can make buddies with, and they'll bring you treats.
Bring you things.
Trinkets. To thank you for being a good friend.
That's right.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're clearly setting up an alibi of some sort. We know, because this is a rewatch podcast, what they've done. Right. But at this point, we don't really know what they've done.
But from the get, once they entered the bar, they're like, all right, everybody be cool. Let's be seen. Let's make sure and chat up some people. Let's drink, but not get too drunk.
Yeah.
We got to interact with some folks. Just be seen that we have been here all night.
Right.
Anybody would say we've been here all night.
Yeah. Anybody that has come into this bar would be like, sure, I saw them. She's gorgeous, and he's, interesting, and
the beautiful blonde and the weird skinny brother.
Yeah, I caught them making out with the bartender.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, sure did.
We get a really cool scene with Verna and Madeline here, which I love.
Yeah.
And she tells her, because she sends Roddy off to go flirt with some ladies and to kiss a girl at midnight, so they'll remember that they kissed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she sends him off, and Verna says, "Thank God he has you to call the shots for him."
Yeah.
And she says he wouldn't. If it was our birthday, he wouldn't think to eat cake unless I took a bite first. Mm-hmm. And it's just so, I think it's so interesting. And their sibling dynamic is so interesting, because I think that Roddy really thinks that he's in control.
Oh, sure.
And I don't think that he actually is the one pushing things along and pulling all the strings in the same way he thinks.
I think that shifts as it goes along, but Madeline's always the one in control. Always. It sets it up that way. She's always been the smarter one. She's always been a little bit more...
a little braver.
Maybe a little conniving.
A little more audacious, yeah.
In that kind of vein. So, yeah, she is definitely the one no, you need to pull the trigger on this. You need to do this thing.
She calls her a queen. I think you're a queen without a crown.
You're a queen without a crown.
Oh,
yeah.
That's going to appeal
ask her,
to her
what do you
now.
want? What do you want?
Yeah.
And she gives her the same bullshit line. He's like, no.
I want to change the world.
I want to change the world. No, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then goes into the whole thing. You look like a queen without a crown. And
her answer is, I would never allow a man to have control over me.
Yep. Never have power or control over me ever again.
And I would figure out how to live forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is a terrible idea.
I mean, that's been a goal for many.
The pursuit of immortality is always going to lead you down some dark paths, kids.
You'll get into some ethically gray areas.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You're going to drink from some nasty fountains thinking it's the fountain of youth.
That's right. Yeah. You're going to be swallowing a lot of shit on the way. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really love this scene. I think it gives us a better idea of what motivates her versus what motivates Roderick in this situation and in the moves that they've made and the choices they've made.
Well, and it's it shows how much power she has over Roderick, and the fact that go make out with somebody else.
Yeah.
He's married with 2 kids, but I need you to go flirt and make out with somebody else. And he's like, okay. And just goes off and does it. That shows you a lot of the power dynamic right there.
Yeah.
But then, so he ends up making out with some lady as the ball drops, and then everything goes weirdly dark, and Vernus right there to give her a big old kiss on the lips.
A New Year's kiss.
That's right.
And it's a really cool, like, tense kind of moment. I love it.
Yeah, it is very good.
It's hot. I mean, they're hot. These are hot ladies. Cheers to you, Cleopatra, she says.
Yep. Cheers to you, Cleopatra. God.
And we get back to, real quick, we flash to Augie and Roddy, and he's just like, what the fuck did you guys do?
Yeah, what did you do?
Like, what did you and Madeline
just
do?
Say it. Just tell, you said this is a confession. Please just confess. What did you do?
Yeah, we're not going to get there yet. We get to our first funeral of the series.
Hey.
Our
the triple header.
The triple header, the triple funeral.
Yep, the triumvirate of death.
Perry, Camille, and Leo having and there actually are people at this funeral.
Yes, there are people hanging out.
As opposed to the second one, which we know is empty pretty much because we see it at the very first episode. But there's people in attendance. All of their mothers are there.
The mothers at the funeral.
They're just so completely disregarded by everyone.
Like,
it's so gross.
Who are they?
The mothers.
The mothers.
And she says it, Madeline says it so disdainfully. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
We gotta deal with this trash, the funeral. It's so awful.
It shows how little they all care for anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are their siblings' mothers, and they're like, nah.
These women just lost their children.
Their children, yeah, and they
got nothing for them.
They got nothing for them.
They got nothing for them.
But yeah, the 3 of them, especially the tall blonde lady on the end, just eyeballing them the whole way across, not letting them get away with an inch of anything.
Yeah, that's definitely Camille's mom right there.
Yeah, for sure.
You can tell.
For sure.
Yeah, so we get a bit of that action. We get a little bit of our hallucination station, our ghost. We see Perry all melty, like up close,
right in front of him.
And then we see a little bit later all 3 of them dead in front of their coffins,
and a mystery figure up in the
a mystery figure in a silly hat.
Yeah, and a silly hat and mask
up in the balcony.
Yep, who's that?
Who's that guy? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. I bet
we'll find out. I bet. Wonder if he's bricked into a wall somewhere.
You never know.
You never know.
You never can tell.
You can't. Except you can.
Yep.
Because there's all the foreshadowing.
It's true. Pym giving advice to everybody. Don't talk to anybody. You're sad.
Oh, yeah. You know? They're so sad. He's telling Jules, he's telling him how to deal with the press.
Yep.
And he's just like, that poor kid is so shell-shocked and just like, sad and horrified. And
here's your one line.
Here's your line.
You got it. Keep moving.
That's so awful. I hate it.
But it sets up, like, this is a good episode to set up the power of Pym.
Yeah.
In this one, that he is a pillar of this family. He's not blood, but he is a pillar of this family and takes care of everything, of all the problems, period. Whatever the problem is, he knows what to say. He knows how to deal with all the stuff. So I liked that you see much more of how he is woven in with the family and how much he actually does. Right.
Absolutely. He, and I mean, he's fucking fantastic.
He's wonderful.
But they talk about him more in this episode too. Like
he's referenced
a lot. And it is setting him up for, some really fucking incredible moments.
Telling his
story, which is just banana cakes and really, really just great.
Wonderful.
So they do get you way more invested in him, which is a good choice, I think, for as a writer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he's been the character that we've talked about and seen, that we've had around and seen, but never really talked about. Who the hell is this guy? When did they meet this guy? What is the...
We don't know.
He's just high-powered lawyer man. Like,
and
what? But he's weirder than that. There's something going, and what is going on with this guy? So we start learning more about his kind of mode and how he works.
Yeah. He's fantastic in this. we have a really awkward sibling meeting.
The meeting at the bar. They rented out bar
you guys.
with the remaining siblings.
The 3 siblings that are left have, when we talked about Camille and Leo having what is like a legitimate like sibling kind of scene and exchange and conversation, these 3 clowns they do not know how to fucking interact.
No, they kind of. The scene is great because there are moments of real honesty amongst them.
Yeah.
Real, genuine, trying to talk back and forth to each other and have connection, but then it all.
Yeah, they can't help but be hateful to each other.
Yeah.
They just can't help it. Like, well, and I mean, because deep down they don't like each other.
No, they have no reason to like each other.
All know each of them knows the other is as big of a piece of shit as they are.
That's right.
You know, like, it's not a secret.
No, they're all kind of dirtbags, and they all have security with them now.
Oh, I love it.
That they all hate.
They're
to
all...
a man, they hate their fucking security.
Yeah. And they assume it was Dad that did this, and Tammy's like, no, this is Aunt Mads. Like,
Aunt Mads. The first time referred to as Mads.
Yeah, or Aunt.
Has been referred to several times as their aunt, but never as Dad and Mads.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, I mean, pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
For what they are.
Yeah, and I think that she would like her making a decision like that gives it more weight. Like they're like, oh fuck, she's not one to overreact. Something must be really squirrely.
Something is happening.
And they do a great line is the only people out for Usher blood are ushers.
Yep. True.
Because they're having a big talk about you know, safety and what they need to do and what might be going on.
How does this all happen? It's, I mean, come on. There's too many things that have, 3 people are dead in rapid succession. Yeah. Something's going on.
Yeah, anyone with common sense.
Yeah, you're going to at least feel like
there's some fuckery amiss.
Wait, what? Yeah, there's something going on.
There's fuckery afoot.
Yeah, but they I like them drinking and hanging out and whatever else.
Yeah,
because it is nice for a minute. Dad hole.
Oh my god!
Like dad hole is like.
You want to talk about the best way to like describe having severe daddy issues? Trying to fill your dad hole.
Yeah, fill your dad hole. Oh, dad hole.
They talk about how young like their younger siblings were when they came home
when they arrived,
found out about them, and they all
bastards came home,
and they're all fucking so irritated that this open door policy that Roderick has could just continue to mean more and more of them show up at any given time. You know,
well, and Vic is trying to get in with the. Is like, do you remember when they were young and they got here? She's like, I remember when you showed up. Yeah. You know, and so not giving her an inch of trying to be
one of them.
She's like, nope, you're the last bastard. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and they even comment. She even comment on like how Roderick never married any of these other women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I love it. There's some really he dove off of our mother into a sea of strange pussy.
Yep,
is such a great line. It's such a great line.
Yep,
and it's such a great description of what Roderick does.
What Roderick does. It's exactly how he does. That is exactly what is going on. And that's Tamerlane. That said that.
Yeah.
She's wonderful in this because she does go back and forth between being a vindictive, horrifying human. Like, I don't want to talk about the junkie. She hates... Cannot stand her.
She hates Juno so much. Cannot stand Juno
at all. And then after Vic leaves, he's like, do you think all that money is still, that $50 million is still on the table? And it's like a weird little sister again.
Yeah.
And it's she's so awesome. You want to talk about levels and range. I really like her, Samantha Sloyan.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
The first thing I saw her in, I'm pretty sure the first thing I saw her in was Hill House, because I saw Hill House before. Like, Hill House was kind of how I discovered Mike Flan-Again. Yeah. And after I watched Hill House, then I was like, oh, we got to go watch.
You got to watch the movies. Got to go see Hush. I got to go see it.
Yeah. So then I saw her in Hush, I think was the next thing I saw her in. And in Hill House, she plays one of the characters' wives, and she's just a very minor role. She's some incredible moments in it, but it's, you know, she's just a pretty straightforward kind of role. It's
yeah,
not
fairly
like
standard.
Crazy.
I mean, then that
bitch in Midnight Mass. My God, I did not see this woman coming. You know, like she blew me away in Midnight Mass, and she's just as good in this. Like, just as wild, just as like unhinged.
But it's different though. There's not the religious zealotry. It is, I'm right.
It's me.
I am right, and I am the thing, and I am the one that did the. And we'll get more to that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But they do the meeting at the with Dad or at the bar. Take care of all that business. I love how much they shit on their security details.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's delightful. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they just order them around and scream at them, and
just
there's a lot of it in this episode, actually.
Out of my face, Ray-Bans. You know, like it's they're fun.
Yeah, we visit Maury briefly at the hospital. She's doing better.
Blinking.
She's blinking.
Yeah, she's blinking, communicating
with Lenore. The doctors are like, he's one who melted. She's doing pretty good.
She's for a melted lady. Her insides are okay.
Her outsides are not
great.
But her
this is good that they're talking. He's like, I thought we need to get her out of here.
Yeah, this is so fucked up and weird.
Roger,
why?
I need to get her out of here. I need to take her home.
That's a red flag immediately for me.
Real fragile. And then he once again, are you
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am? Don't you know what we can do? Like, and he's not wrong as far as like medically.
We see like this crazy ass hospital room that they set up in their house. That's like incredible for her.
It's going to be everything that they could have at the hospital and probably more. And more direct care.
It's such a control thing.
It is a control thing. It's that I got to get to the bottom of this thing. I got questions that need answering, and I can't do that under somebody else's watch.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and it gets so much worse.
It sure does.
Yeah. What he says? Are you mistaking me for a civilian?
A civilian? Yeah. Yeah, dude. The words he chooses are so stupid. It's just so. But at the end of that scene, they're going along, and Froderick asks her, "Is like, oh, you want to go home, right, honey?" And right before it cuts, she blinks once.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't want to go home.
I know you got bad intentions, son.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
It's
and it's short, and like if you weren't watching it, then you would not necessarily catch it.
Yeah, I definitely caught that this time. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, she kind of knows what.
Well, I mean, she fucking knows that. She knows they know what she was doing.
Yeah,
you know, like you did choose to go to your brother-in-law's orgy.
Yeah, you went to the Cuddle Puddle.
That was a whole choice you made, ma'am. And everybody knows that you were there because that's where they found your melted face.
Yeah, they found. So, I mean, granted, it's nice to be alive, but my God,
what?
I bet most of the time she's probably like, man, I wish I would have just melted into that floor and just not have to deal with this. And she definitely will before
it's all said and done.
Show's done.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah. She blinks once right before that.
Oh, it's really bad.
It changes over.
It's really, really bad. We go to Vic and Al. Alessandra has found out that she has scheduled this surgery with this patient that she has not, number one, has not vetted the patient. Number two, why is this even approved? Because we are not ready for human trials.
Yeah, we are close to human trials.
And our actually our research doesn't support that we're ready for human trials. So if you got the okay on this, you must have been committing some fuckery in the documentation.
What is with these people?
Falsifying medical
records, man.
Just because you didn't rob a grave does not make you a fucking...
Well, and I mean, Vic says, this is how this industry works.
Yeah, don't be a child.
Don't be a child. She's so mean to her. And Al is like, okay,
she's got fucking morals.
I'm a surgeon, and I could give a fuck. Like, that's, I mean, you ever met a surgeon? They're that way.
Oh, man.
They don't, they're not going to be beholden to anyone. They don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit about that.
Well, and she's got integrity as, you know, she doesn't feel like this is the right or safe or good thing to do.
Well, she knows different. I mean, she knows better.
She's watched these fucking chips die on the table.
Yeah, we're just going to do that to a person now? What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you crazy?
Yeah, what? No.
Like, we don't work on, like, the machine itself works fine, maybe, but like, no.
We can't keep anything alive with it on its heart.
Yeah,
Like, that's a problem. That's a big problem, man. You can't be doing that.
You know, when she's up front with her that her dad's demanding human trials, he wants a return on his investment, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, the $200
it's
million.
all about this $200 million, and she fucking throws it in her face. She's like, "Oh, you were all fine and good with all of this when my daddy's money started rolling into your clinic,
getting into the clinic and into your bank account."
But then I'm also like, "Bitch, you picked her because of that.
She
could do what you wanted her to do. Like, you set that up.
You're all users.
You're all users.
Users. None of you know real actual love. It sucks."
Yeah, she just says, I think I might have let this go too far.
Yeah, I'm done.
And
bye. I'm out of here. You're not who I thought you were.
Oh, man.
What a hell of a thing to say to someone, that
you're not who I thought you were.
You're not who I thought you were. That's rugged. That's rugged regardless whatever has happened.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing.
And she tells her the NDA doesn't cover illegal activity, and Vic comes right back. Yes, it actually fucking does.
Sure does. Never dealt with a PIM before.
Yeah. And she threatens her.
Yes.
Like, she's threatening her. She's not even... Like,
that's what they do. That's the fallback.
Yeah,
like, nope,
like she goes from pleading and begging to
we'll tear you apart,
to I'll destroy you.
I will destroy you.
And this is someone you claim to love. It's so messed up.
We'll tear you apart.
She says, "Of course, I'm going to tell you, ushers, you're all fucking monsters, ma'am. Yes, ma'am."
And we see her chuck something in the.
Yeah, she throws a big clunky art piece at her.
It was the bookend. It was the rock bookend.
Yeah.
Throws it at her, and then we go to the next scene.
Yeah, and it's Vic leaving messages for her.
Yep,
like trying to make
sitting
up.
There, calling,
like, oh
sorry.
God, we got to work this out.
We can make this happen. We can make this work. It's going to be okay.
And just to put more pressure on immediately, Madeline shows up and starts asking the same kind of questions that Dad was asking. She wants to know, how is everything going with your little science project?
Yeah, what's happening? Things have moved. Things have changed. We have one very special person that this needs to be for. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and I can't hardly hear it.
No, because she's starting to hear
that chirp,
that noise,
electric zap and chirp of the heart thing.
It's such an interesting sound, and they mix things in with it too sometimes. Like, they mix a beep in with it, and she's like, oh shit, it's the thing, it's the smoke detector. And they do that several times. Sometimes there's music kind of laid into it, because I had my headphones on when I was watching it earlier, and I could really, really hear that noise so well. It's just driving her fucking crazy.
It's a great replacement for an actual heartbeat.
Yeah. It is a
great replacement for that in this story.
It is. Yeah. She cannot stay focused on anything because of the sound, which is,
it's like, I'm sorry.
Tell heart.
I'm sorry. Don't you have bigger things to be focusing on? I don't mean to be blunt, but the whole court case.
And Madeline's like, I wouldn't worry too much about that, basically.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's wild.
Dude, but it shows how deep into her mind she's already gone. Like, she's already in there. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening because Mads is there, and she's in charge.
Yeah,
and even that's
been established.
Yeah, even that can't break her out of. What the hell
is that fucking sound?
That noise? Is it in the walls? Is it like
she's picking up things? She's like, because sometimes you'll hear like a hum. Like, I know my ears are. I'm deaf as shit, but like sometimes I'll hear like a little hum that I know is like an electric sound.
Yeah.
And then it's like, where the fuck is that sound?
Is that coming from?
Like the other night, that beeping that the oven was making. My oven was possessed by Satan in the middle of the night. And I woke up and it was like, where the fuck is the beeping coming from?
I never heard said beeping.
I'm an eyelash away from the telltale heart.
What are you guilty about?
If Brat ever disappears, he's under my floorboards. No, he's not.
We have concrete.
We have concrete floors, and I cannot.
She's gonna bury me deep.
No.
Don't bury me deep. She's got that guilt in her heart.
In my telltale heart.
That's right.
Oh, so we go back to we got Pim and Augie. And they have an interesting little scene here where they're kind of talking about like, why are you fucking hanging out with these assholes?
Can I ask you something man to man?
Why do you do this?
Why do you do this? I wouldn't be where I am
if it weren't for Roderick. Yeah.
And I mean, that says a whole lot. And loyalty is something. And,
Yeah.
I mean, especially with somebody that can give you as much.
And we don't ever really find out why. We don't.
I think we find out a little bit, but I mean, there's a lot of shadow. And
yeah, there's not. I mean, there's not a lot of
the exact, because of this, he did this.
Yeah, he did this for me, and that's why I'm his guy, you know?
Yeah.
Because you never really, we don't find out much personal about him and what we do, but what we do is delectable, you know?
But yeah, they're in there talking with each other before the judge wanders in.
Yeah.
This piece of shit judge.
Oh man, what an asshole.
You're what's wrong, sir.
You're what's wrong with the system.
You're what's wrong with the system. You're one of the things that's wrong with the system.
But it's also like, that's part of like the supernatural thing about this. Like they talk about.
He says it's supernatural. Yeah. Like it's almost supernatural how they get away with it.
Repeatedly can evade prosecution. You know,
almost supernatural.
It's almost like it's set up that way by someone.
Yeah, because it is.
It is, and even if it's not, it is. We see it all the fucking time. I mean, Jesus Christ, the system is so rigged for the rich, for the rich, for the powerful. It's so fucking gross.
Yeah,
I mean,
they can get away with it.
Yeah.
You can buy your way out of it.
You can buy your way out of almost anything. Yeah. It's fucking wild.
But I mean, and
I would be such a good rich person, by the way. I would be so kind. I would be very generous. I would not screw people over like this. I would not create a drug and say that it's non-addictive and it be addictive as shit. Like I would be such a good rich person.
I believe you.
I'm just pitching that to the universe.
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, we could win the lottery. We'd be fine.
We are mentally and physically prepared.
Emotionally prepared to win the lottery.
We're ready to be there.
We're manifesting.
We're manifesting. Yeah, right now. But the judge in this, I do kind of get like, come on, man. 3 of their kids died this week.
I mean, this is a valid fucking point.
This week, man, and it's not going to mess with your case. And it's like, we need to push this for a second because holy shit. You know what? That's the right thing to do. Yeah. It is, as much as, I mean, as bad as they have done, and as long as the ushers are, that's the right call.
Yeah.
That's the right call. That's a horrifying thing for any family, period. Even if you're all pieces of shit, that's still a bad deal.
It's still, like, it should be a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, God. Then we go back to Augie and Roddy having their, you know, at the fireplace. At the fireplace. And
having their fireside chat.
Talking about the informant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who was the informant?
Who was the informant? Might as well just tell me. I mean, we're at the end of this. You might as well tell me.
It don't matter.
There wasn't one. Wasn't one at all.
And Roddy loves this move.
Oh, just loves him for it.
Proud of him.
Yeah.
What is he saying? Watching you shit on your principles would have been worth every fucking penny.
Yes, yeah. Oh. Yeah. And he's like, I played your game the way you played it.
Yeah.
One time,
you asshole. He's like, get off your high horse and get in the mud with me, asshole.
Come on, let's talk about it. Let's be about it.
And then he's like, no, but for real, I would never have done this. I did not think that any of them would end up dead.
That it would escalate to that.
And he's like,
I was hoping you guys it would break the foundations, that you would turn on each other, hell, even eat each other alive.
But I did not think any of them would end up dead.
No. And that's very honest.
And then Roddy has the audacity. If it wasn't for you, they would all still be alive today.
Sure, says that. And he says that just to get a leg up on him, just to pierce his heart a little bit.
And to have that question in it, like to have that doubt and that, to put that in his heart, because he knows that that's something that would torture him.
When you're guilty of something, you want to put that shit on somebody else. And be like, yep, because you'll believe that was you. I'm going to tell you that it was.
And then just like we talked about, anytime he tries to deflect, like we talked about last week, anytime he tries to deflect blame or like anytime he tries to absolve himself of his responsibility in all of this fucking shit, one of his dead kids shows up.
Well, Augie's chest starts bleeding. Just starts bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Then he looks up. Then when he looks down, it's Vic. And sitting there, and she starts screaming.
Oh.
And this is what I'm hearing when you wake me up out of my bad dreams, is that kind of weird drone escalating scream. Like, I start making noises now because Ashley will wake me up. But that's...
He wakes me up out of my sleep paralysis.
That's right. But yeah, that scream is exactly what is in like my nightmare kind of stuff. And so it really is, ooh.
That's fucking unsettling to see play out on the screen.
But that's the thing about Flan-Again, is there are so many things there that I'm like, that happens to me.
Yeah.
That happens to me. That is, that kind of fear is it's not unique to me. That's great.
It's not just me. Yeah.
God.
He covers, they cover sleep paralysis in Hill House. And it's really, I love to see that too, because I have sleep paralysis and it is the fucking craziest stuff. But normalizing it and knowing that it's not just something that happens to you, and realizing that that's like, it's not normal, but it's normal,
but it's a thing.
It's not.
A lot of people go through that.
A lot of people got a sleep paralysis demon hanging out at their house. It's not just me.
Nope. But then they continue on and they start talking about guilt because Roderick apologizes to him.
Yes.
He's like, that didn't.
No one died from your lie, so don't carry that.
Don't carry that. And he says that very genuine. Like, and you can tell when he is being genuine, and because he does, his demons are in his face about it. And so
his tone of voice changes too.
His
He's
whole
like,
demeanor.
Yeah.
It goes back to when he was young.
Yeah.
Like it's that same kind of.
He drops that facade. It's the same like we talked about last episode. Like Rufus, and we find out that Rufus actually did work with his dad in this episode.
Yeah.
So like Rufus and Longfellow both have that kind of like that boss cadence voice that Roddy has taken on and uses as well. It is completely a learned facade that they put up. And when you see him drop that, you can hear it in his voice. You could see it physically with him. Yeah. It's it's a really great choice.
And then he starts talking about guilt. And he's like, the mind of guilt is full of scorpions. Oh. I like that thought process because it would never let you go.
It's from Macbeth.
Yeah.
This is a Macbeth reference. I was like, I gotta look at that. I gotta look that up because I didn't know what it was from. I didn't remember what it was from.
Talking guilt, baby. Go to Macbeth.
Yeah, no one knows guilt like that, asshole.
Come on. Yeah, that's such a great. Your mind itches, and it's poisonous at the same. That's so good.
Yeah,
such a great descriptor.
The mind of guilt is full of scorpions, and I wouldn't wish their sting on anyone. Never waste your time on guilt or shame. On guilt or shame is their alchemy, a savage cross to bear. Never waste your time on guilt. I wrote that down wrong, but it was that. The basic gist is there.
That's in there. We got it.
It's just fucking great scene.
Those two are wonderful across from each other.
Yeah, they really
not
are.
Being across from each other some of the time. The acting is
spot on. So next we go to Madeline and Rufus. Young Madeline has taken it upon herself to pitch her computer business to Rufus.
To Rufus, yeah, went in there.
Yeah, so she's talking to him about getting on the digital train and getting his files and things moved over from paper to computer.
One of the few slip-ups that Madeline has.
But it's not. It's totally on purpose. I mean, she's doing it on purpose. She's fucking playing him so well.
Setting him up.
I love it. Because he asked her, like, right off the bat, he's just not taking her seriously. She's
a woman.
Fucking beautiful.
Sorry.
She's a beautiful woman.
You're a beautiful woman.
All he wants to do is fuck her.
Yep.
That's all he wants to do.
He's a dirtbag, 80s, 70s CEO.
Yeah, he would.
That's all they want from women.
If he didn't want to fuck her, she wouldn't be in his office.
That's exactly right.
He's got
never would have got the meeting.
Yeah, he's got no interest in what she has to say.
No.
And he asked, how do you take your coffee? And she shuts him down. Like, she does not even entertain it in solitude.
Yeah.
She's like, we're not doing this.
No, I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody.
Oh, he's such a fucking scumbag.
She's not looking for companionship in any sort of way, shape, or form.
No. She calls him out on it. Smart girls only sexy until you realize they don't want to fuck you. And then they're competition. And then what do? You take them down a peg. And that's what he spends the next majority of the scene.
Yeah,
just fucking telling her business, basically.
Oh yeah, just sitting there with a thing.
Like he's like, everybody knows that your mom was a whore that fucked the boss, and she went crazy. What a mess was that? And killed him. What a mess was that? And everybody knows there's bastard children. I don't know why he didn't,
working in the mailroom. You're doing just fine, embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, just needling her.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you can fuck me anytime you want, but don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Very important distinction.
And he goes that it's so fucking gross and I hate it. Ugh, where he's talking about you can climb that ladder on your back.
Yeah, men have to climb through mud on their bellies. Women can climb the ladder on their back.
or on their knees or on
their knees. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He really wants to fuck her bad.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. He's ready to go for her.
So she knows, like, she's got his fucking number.
Oh, well, I mean...
Which we see in the next scene.
Yes, in the next scene, back at their apartment.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like a Scooby-Doo gang kind of meeting.
Yeah.
Where we're like...
we're chatting it up, seeing what's going on.
Unexperienced people trying to pull off a little bit of a heist.
Yeah, how do we do this? How do we figure this out?
An information heist, basically. And they're talking about Rufus and talking about how he underestimates them. And then Augie's like, yeah, but here's the thing. Don't underestimate him. Like, don't make the same mistake he's making with us.
That's right. You don't have to be smart to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we learned 2 important things in this. He says we learned some important things, one of which is that he underestimated us. And number 2, which is that those records still exist.
They're still here.
They're still in that basement. And if we don't get to them before they make this big move, so the company is building new headquarters currently.
Moving campus.
Yeah, moving campus. So when they make this big move, that's definitely when they're going to destroy the paperwork.
That's where it's easiest to do.
Just like they were going to hide all the evidence of the shit that melted everybody when they tore that building down. Yeah. Like, that's when you hide shit in barrels and dump it in the ocean.
Yeah, when you're doing construction and things just happen, and shit happens when you're moving. If you've ever moved anything from one place to another, stuff just gets lost.
Yeah.
There's just times that, like, I don't know what happened to that. That was in a weird bag that I threw away and it's gone forever.
Yeah, I have no clue.
It's the right time. It's the right time to get rid of your fucking dirty secrets.
Somebody put it in a closet. I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, the 4 of them sitting around kind of talking and scheming about the whole thing, going, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. That's Annabelle. She's like,
I don't like this at all,
I hate everything about this. Like,
doing?
We're double crossing and like whose side is who on?
Yeah, what
now?
are we trying to do? Like, it's
like
this.
When a plan gets so convoluted, you're like,
when Augie's like, it is dangerous.
Yeah.
What we are going to do is dangerous. That's no lie.
Yeah. These are rich, powerful people.
Yes. And you mess with folks and you mess with folks' money and they're going to be upset about it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. We go back to present time. We get a Pim, Maddie, and Roderick scene.
Yep.
And he's busting out pictures of Verna.
Yep. I know that face.
We've got 3 pictures of her now. We've got her from Red Death. We've got her at the security desk, and we've got her. So the picture from Leo's phone. She's holding like a fucking rat.
A big ass rat.
But it's not a cat.
Nope, doesn't have a cat. Got a big ass rat. Her eyes are all shiny.
Yeah,
weird.
all weird. She's like,
man, she looks very much like a gangle creature cat.
Yeah, and she's not holding a cat, but she is a little cattish. She's the one that, look what I killed for you.
Yeah, she's got that rat holding on to it. Yeah.
So gross. And Maddie's like, I remember.
I know that face.
I know that face, and I've been pretending like I didn't. I've been acting like that. I've been trying to talk myself out of it.
Yep.
But I know that place. I know that face.
Yep, I know that. And I know, and Roderick's like, no, remember, I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this in front of Arthur. I'm not talking about, we said we weren't ever going to talk about this ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again.
And that's your rule.
And that is your rule. You're the one that said that, so I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't even know how this even could be a thing. To which she lays out, well,
did you happen to fuck that pretty bartender?
Yeah, my brother who can't help but put in his dick and everything that is walking around. Did you happen to do that? And maybe this one came back, and maybe this is just another bastard that is crazy as hell.
Which is the most rational thought here.
Yep, that's exactly right. Like,
to think it's something supernatural is a little bizarre, but to think,
well, you wouldn't.
Hey, man, you know what? You fucked a lot of women, and sometimes people look like their moms.
That's right. That's what makes sense here. And this kid is climbing the ladder. Like, decided, you know what? I want my piece, but I also want theirs.
Their piece,
and
yeah.
Theirs and theirs. And so I'm just going to bump all these motherfuckers off and just get everything.
And also, I'm crazy, and because I've probably been neglected and my whole life, and none of this.
No one said anything, and all of you have everything, and I don't
have it, and I didn't get it. Yeah, absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense, and she's, of course, being the smartest one in the room, is
Yeah, and that's a real, I mean, fuck, that makes more sense than anything.
It sure does. That's
Like,
the
you
most
gotta-
logical explanation of who this person is.
You got yourself a new crazy bastard.
So Pim is like, can I handle these negotiations from an aggressive standpoint?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then Matt's like, I want her eyes.
I'll bring back the receipts when I'm done.
Yeah.
I want her eyes.
eyes.
And I hope
Both of them.
both of them.
But
Take your time.
she's terrifying.
Take your time cutting out this person's eyeballs.
That's like bring me back Snow White's heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Receipt. And he's like, all right, I gotta go finish some things. Text me the address of where that bar was so I can get started. That's where I'll start.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And she's like, I've already been there. That
I've been
bar
there,
is
that bar
not
is
there.
long gone. And he's like, I need the address anyway so I can start doing research.
Yep.
And he bounces out, ready for murder.
Yeah, going off.
Gotta go get ready for murder. Time to do the thing.
Gonna take care of business. So then we've got Vic and Verna. Verna as her character that this woman that she's playing.
I got a bad heart.
My heart. I'm so sick.
People.
And she's scared. Like, that's her whole thing is she's scared. All this is happening really fast. Like,
I haven't even talked to the surgeon yet.
yeah, I haven't even met the surgeon. You know, and I don't really know what's going to happen. No one's walked me through everything. We're talking about doing this next week.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking crazy. It's experimental, and I'm nervous. And and sometimes she dips back into like her self, you know.
Oh yeah, she
and it's
starts
so good. It's so good. She asked her, "What's more important to you, being famous or saving lives?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Because one, I think, has always come out ahead.
Always outweighed the other."
And as a scientist, that doesn't feel like maybe what you should do."
Meanwhile, Vic is losing it. Just banana cakes, cannot stop that. Just keeps hearing that damn heart thing going. And it's just getting there, and the lights go weird, dark, and red and orange at one point as she's really kind of chastising her, as Verna's chastising her about all of the, well, your choices and this, and you're not a very good person, and you don't care that much about people.
Yeah, operant conditioning.
Yeah,
she talks
operant
to her about operant conditioning.
Yeah.
She's like, it's something horses have. They read erratic behavior in people. And that she says that you're so out of touch with your human side that you can only hear what's in your own head, which is, I mean, literally what's happening.
Literally what's going on. As she's over in the corner. Just crawling up the walls and stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, she's just losing it over that. And then it all flashes back to normal, and it's like, well, just can't wait.
Have Dr. Ruiz give me a call.
Give me a call, and we'll do this thing. Okay. I'd love to have her give you a call. That'll happen.
Meanwhile, we see what she's done to the office, and it is torn the fuck up.
She's torn the vents off the walls. She's ripped through her desk, everything off the shelves.
It's not quite to the Leo's drug-fueled fucking destruction of his apartment, but it is a messy mess.
Man, if she had Mjolnir, she might.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
for someone who kept such a tidy space, and like you see that space
she's
several
tidy.
Times, and she's very
fastidious
and
yes,
like
very
gorgeous and very put together. And very fashionable and all of that. And so it is like, you just watch her just like jitter apart.
Absolutely. Yeah. She is. Yes. Jittering apart is exactly the right way to put that. Cause she is just shaking to bits.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
Interesting to watch. Woo.
Yeah. It really is. The last message she leaves out that we see there is basically saying, name your price.
Name your price.
Name your price. I'll give you anything you want. Just name your price.
Yep. I'm going to give you anything.
She can't win her back. She's going to buy her back,
as they all do.
Yep.
That's the last line is, what do you want? And I'll get it.
Yep. And we pop over to Lenore and Froderick, who's getting the hospital room set up for Morella.
Set up. Yep.
And this all seems really innocuous on the surface, you know, like they do have the money for this. They can hire private doctors.
Yeah.
They can do all of that. So it does seem really kind of innocuous on the front end. But the more and more he talks, the more and more you realize the level of fuckery that he's dealing with in his head. Like this is making him slowly go, batshit. Like this jealousy, this you know, this like
the not knowing, the splinter in his mind, and just not knowing, being able to. But this is also, I think, the first time that he has a real honest conversation with his daughter. Yeah. About, you know what we are. We're like royalty. I mean, it's all smug and ridiculous, all super smug, but it is her reality. He tells her, hey, I've had 3 death threats since I became an adult. Me. To me. Not the company. Not the company, not the family. Me, myself. And so that's part of what you're dealing with. And he's explaining to her why Pym's important. Yes. Like why we need Pym. You do what he says. Yeah. Because she kind of like, I don't like that. Yeah, it's because she's like, are there going to be reporters here when we bring mom home? Is it going to be a whole fucking thing? Yeah. And he's like, well, we'll get Pym to deal with all that. Yeah, but ask Arthur and he'll tell you what to say. Yeah. And she doesn't want to do that, which I don't. He's an intimidating dude. Like, he is. Who wants to be a fucking mouthpiece for their family? Like, exactly. That doesn't. But if I'm going to be asked questions, I want to be able to share what I'm experiencing and what I feel and think. Mm-mm. That is not the family way here. No, you have to build the wall. The wall is you have to protect each other, and you have to do and say what Pym tells you to say. No matter what. It's the importance of him on how he deals with everything. And she ultimately is like, yeah, you're right. I know. And he tells her, you can't trust people. Look at your own mother. Your own mother. And she's like. And like, that's where like. What? I'm glad she clocks that. And it's like, something's off. Did I miss? I must not have a bit of information that is important. Yeah, that's weird. Something's off here. Something strange here. He's like, she told us she was going out with her friends. She said she was going to dinner and have drinks. Mm-hmm. She didn't. She went to the orgy and got melted. That's right. Yep. That beginning, like, I really liked that. Because it was such an honest discourse instead of like from when he was trying not to curse at her and when they were making the cake and stuff like that. Sorry, honey. Sorry, honey. It was really this is actual life. Well, I think too, like you get to a certain point with stress that you drop masks and facades, you know, like yes. It's just like anything. If you're masking behaviors, you get to a point like he's not sleeping, he's doing drugs. Like you get to a point where you can't do it all. You can't keep that up anymore. He didn't seem high in this scene. No. Like it was, all right, we're just got to get the room together and get everything kind of like he was doing business. And so he wasn't all messed up. And so there was that lucid kind of, well, I got to explain. But it's just, he's sinister in his heart. Yeah, there's just the nefariousness of him is just right below that surface. Yeah. We see Tammy finally. We haven't seen Tam in a while. Yep. We don't see Tam a lot this episode, but there's some really good shit here with her and Bill. Oh, her falling asleep. Oh, God. So she's hearing something out in the hallway. She thinks her security guard's out there talking to someone. And he is. You see an arm. You do. You see a little arm there, and the guy's like, what? Yeah. And that's not the security guard. He can't see anybody. Yeah. Sure as hell burned his arm like, just on my shoulder. Don't mind me. Yep. I'm on my way out. Just, setting it up so nice. And that Tamerlane hasn't slept. Yeah, she's not sleeping at all. And so she fell asleep mid-conversation. And they do these really cool cuts. Of her, like, bouncing awake. And they're like, Jesus, are you okay? Did you just fall asleep in mid-sentence? He asks her. You know, and they're having it out. Yeah, they are. This fight is mean and ugly. She is so emasculating and hateful to him. She is mean. It is like, she is truly saying the meanest things she can to him. Absolutely. Anything that he's ever thought and doubted about himself and their relationship and their business partnership, she is saying it out loud. She is the voice inside his head being horrible to him. Yep, and they're arguing back and forth. He's trying to get her to take a break, postpone the launch. Like the U.S. government stopped. They said that this is too much. We need to postpone the launch, and she's 100% against it. I love one of my favorite lines is, "I haven't seen you sleep in it's been a fucking long time, Tammy. Like horror movie long. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right. And she's doing things she doesn't remember. Like she's approving things. She's like, yeah, every CEO in the country does that. Yeah. And so I don't remember everything I approved. Big deal. And then she's like, by the way, I saw that
slut in 3 of your live streams.
Yep. 4 more of your live streams. I saw her around. He's like, what the hell are you talking about?
By the way, you were walking with her in the park. He's like, that was you.
That was you psycho.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, yes, the build of this argument going back and forth. Like, what the hell are you? Him trying to talk any sense to this woman who is busted.
Oh man, this is all so
busted
awful.
And focused on one thing. She lets him have it.
You were selected. You were chosen. You fit the brand better than what Yogi Yoga.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're a product, a fucking mascot, and it's just awful. But he comes back a couple of times. He's like, without me, your little gold bug is just a lowly box of cosmetics.
Yeah, just
like
low-end cosmetics. It's just a rip-off of other things. And, I mean, he's getting his digs back in there.
Oh, but she is so horrible to him. She just wants him to smile and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
That's all she wants.
Yep. And he's like, all right, if I walk out that door, I'm not coming back.
Bye.
And she's like, okay. And he sits there for a moment and is like, you know what? I can't. It's the second time that we've seen somebody leave an usher because they can't handle their fucking bullshit anymore. They're like, nope, I can't do this. And as he's leaving, Tamerlane goes,
she wants to stop him.
She wants to stop him, but she stops herself. She wants to stop him, and she stops herself.
Like, you could make it doesn't have to be like this. You could make a different choice. It doesn't have to be like that.
You shouldn't be here. I mean, it is that same, like, because it does have that in her, and I do think that she does care for Bill. And I mean, they have it out over the whole prostitute thing.
Yeah, he's like, I never wanted that.
I hate that. I have hated that.
That was all you. That's all you.
Well,
not
she
me.
attacks him at one point when the head got boring. And like, it's just, she is absolutely just slicing him every single way he can. And he's really trying to help her throughout this entire scene. Like, baby, you need some sleep. Like, we need to go somewhere else and get some rest because your family is dying and somebody might be trying to kill you guys.
And he knows she's not, like,
you're not yourself.
Bitch. But you're not yourself, you know? Yeah. You're a bitch all the time, but this is not like you.
This isn't normal.
And she normally does have her shit together. She normally does have her trains running on time, you know? Like, this.
Well, it's always has the right sharp thing to say. Yeah. Always. And in this, it feels out of control.
Yeah.
It feels like it's all just spilling out.
Oh, and it's just body blows. It's just mean.
Just mean as hell in this.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah. We get really, like, this is like such a Bruce Greenwood like extravaganza. This next scene, so it's all Roddy's in the basement.
Talking to a wall.
What's behind that wall?
Drinking, talking to a wall.
Talking to a wall, as you do.
Keeps hearing tinkling of bells and stuff. Fuck you. He says to the wall, like, what the shit?
He's got a beef with this wall. And then he's like, you know, maybe it's a psycho bastard. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I don't know what's going on. Dementia's fucking crazy. Like, yeah. And he, like, I do, like, and Joel and I have talked about the fuckery of dementia a few times on Articulate Coven, because it is such a thief. I mean, and it is awful. And it is a you know, the long walk, as they call, you know.
That's exactly right.
And it's just awful. And to have something like this where you're also having hallucinations and you don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah, doctor says you shouldn't trust it.
You shouldn't trust
your own mind.
Ooh.
Dude, that's a particular kind of hell. But that is a very particular kind of hell.
And then he kind of says, you know, I think I know the thing I can do to save us all from this.
That's right. I can save everybody.
And it's to kill yourself.
I'm going to kill myself.
So he starts contemplating different ways he can kill himself.
Ligadone. 5 of those babies, you just drink.
Take them 5 at a time.
Yeah, take them 5 at a time.
He's like, but it wouldn't look good for me to commit suicide with my own drug.
I don't think that'd be a bad look.
Oh, maybe I can use this fancy weapon that I have.
Kopesh, which is not a stabbing weapon. Like, you can, but that's a hook and a slice. That's a...
Scythe.
Yeah, like... He was trying to push no, baby, no. He's got it against the wall and he's trying to shove himself onto it. 2,000 years ago, this was in somebody else's belly. Go out like a warrior, like an Egyptian warrior.
Yeah,
he's just pumping himself up, trying to kill himself with a Kopesh. Nope, that's a tough way to stab yourself. There's a lot better ways to stab yourself, for sure.
Yeah.
But he's trying that, and so he's wandering around the office, smashing it against the table a little bit, thinking, "Ooh, maybe if I
jump?
What if I jump? That's 10 seconds.
10 seconds to save us all.
That's 10 seconds.
I could
to
save
save
them
us
all.
I could save them all in 10 seconds." And he has the hallucination of it. Artistically, I think this is one of my favorite things that he does in this entire series. Of he goes and raises his arm up, and then you see back behind from the windows the fall of him, and then it goes to his face, and it's him as he's descending down to the ground. It's such a cool artistic choice.
It is. It is really. It's a really cool effect, and it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's just so well played and so well done.
And he's just like, "You're a fucking coward.
You're a coward. You can't do it. It's only 10 seconds.
Yeah, I couldn't even fucking handle 10 seconds."
And so he's loosening up his tie, having a tough one.
So then the solution is, let's go check in on Vic.
Listen, you know what? I know things are going wrong. I'm gonna go and
let's check on my heart mesh.
Let's go get the heart mesh. I'll be like, baby, I need this. I need the business. I need this thing so we can be fixed and it'll be all right. Because he's in a suicidal way.
Yeah.
Tough suicidal way, talking to walls, trying to kill yourself with a blunt weapon. Like it's some tough stuff.
This is not a good Tuesday for him.
And she is jamming.
Oh
when
man,
he shows up, music is blasting. It's like, oh, can you turn that down?
And man, she is shifty and crazy.
Yeah, she's real.
Like,
Dad,
hey, what's up?
Come on in, hey, come on in here.
And he's weirdly trying to apologize to her. Like, it's so strange. He's like kind of acknowledging that he set them up to kind of
fail,
to hate each other,
and
to just rip each other apart. Like, I did it to make you strong, but that wasn't
using the whole lioness thing. Like, you got to learn how to use your claws and your teeth, but I think I may have gone too far, and I was too. And she's just weird, and he's genuinely trying to be like, I was a bad dad.
And he's like, I really
am trying to apologize,
and I need you, and I need you, I need your help. He says, I'm not strong. I may need your work more than you know. I'm not strong and I'm not brave.
Yeah.
Like, and that's from him, that's an insane acknowledgement of some weakness.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you go through trying to kill yourself and you don't. That has to be a thing. That I was like, God, it was too much of a wimp to do it. Like, because your brain is busted.
And if I'm not going to die, if I'm not going to kill myself, how can I
stay alive? What do I got to do to fix it? And so he's going through all of this. Like, and this is the first time you've seen him not up. Like, his tie's loose. He's looking a little rugged around the edges. He's like, can you please turn this down? And please, can
you just turn it off? And she does, and immediately we hear the sound.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Do you hear that? And he's like,
yeah, I do. And she's like, oh, thank God.
Yes, somebody else hears this. Oh, thank God, Dad. Oh, I cannot even tell you how much.
And then they're talking about the heart mesh, and she says, I think it works. It does. It does work.
It does work.
It does work. And then we get a flashback to the fight with Al.
Because she walks into the hall.
Yeah, she sees her walk.
Yeah, she walks into the hall and is like, oh.
So then we replay this entire fight. Come to find out, the thing she threw hit Al in the head.
Yeah, that stone bookend hit her right in the back of the head, and she smashed her forehead against the door, and then fell back and hit her head again.
And they even do makeup.
Yeah, they do.
It's so great. Like, and she just dies in a bloody pool.
It is beautiful, and it looks like her hair is liquefying underneath her.
It's
the blood
crazy.
Is running. It looks so cool,
and she's making the most horrifying sounds.
She's trying to communicate, or trying to whatever, or is just going through death throes. And
and then Vic passes the sounds off as sex.
Yes, that's so
fucking
fucked
horrible.
Up. Never heard of a woman getting head before? Get out of here, pervert! Before I find a security guard that's less cringe.
Oh.
The guy, you see his legs like, all right, fuck. Gee, that sounded like somebody dying to me, but.
And she just like, oh, this was an accident. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was an accident. Why did you make me do this? And
then we get back.
And then she dies. I mean, she just dies right there.
Yeah, she's dead.
She's like, no. Oh, shit. And then.
I remember what happened.
I remember what happened. Meanwhile, Dad's like, what is that sound?
And what's that smell?
What is that? What is happening? And so he's wandering through the place. Dad, I remember now. I remember. And his reaction when he walks into their bedroom is wonderfully genuine, like oh shit.
Because Al is dead, heart cut open,
Just
wrenched open, gung, heart mesh on her dead heart.
Yeah, just a going.
Just trying to beat that dead heart.
Yep. Just it's going. And Vic comes in and he's like, see, I don't know.
And she's talking to her like she's alive. And Roderick's like, no, I think she's quite dead.
Yeah, she's quite dead.
She's quite dead, isn't she? Like, and she says, yeah, it's pumping. It's pumping a useless heart.
That's why it's making
That's
that
why
sound.
It's a dead, useless heart.
Dead, useless. Oh, that's why.
And then it feels like Verna isn't there.
Yeah.
In this, except for when she says to him.
Yeah.
When Vic says, I wish you'd have just jumped, then I wouldn't have to do this.
Well, she pulls a knife out, the knife she used to cut her open, and puts it up to his throat, and is like, we need a better heart.
Yeah, we need a better heart.
We need a better heart.
We'll do it.
We need a better one. We need a better one.
This one's dead.
Yep. And it didn't have to be this way.
Oh, it's so awful.
She says it didn't have to be this way. And she turns that knife around.
And just stab a dab.
Right into her heart. And just says daddy right before she dies. It's such a back to reality of,
oh shit. Yeah.
And
it's like that the spell of it all was gone. And it was like, oh, what the fuck did I just do? Like she's so outside of herself.
She's mad. She's gone. Like she's shattered into 1,000 pieces. And that's not why Verna was able to get in there so easy. Because she just was there making the sound the whole time.
The
whole time she was there sitting there making that sound and driving her absolutely nuts. It didn't have to be this way. Maybe if you would have just jumped. Dude, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And then it goes boom. And then underneath it you get that heart sound that is through there. So well done. So good on leaving you with the
ick of it all.
Oh God, my chest.
Yeah. Some of these deaths are more fun than others, and like you can really sit back and like we're gonna enjoy watching Freddy go out. It's delicious. Like some of them are way more fun than others, and I mean Verna even acknowledges that. She's like, some
of them got a little more style or whatever, but it's definitely linked to how you are as a
how
person
you live and how you live
and what your choices you made here at the end especially have made a lot of difference in how things got handled.
For sure. God, next episode is the gold bug. So we'll be bidding adieu to Tamerlane next episode.
This gold bug, I think this is the one that bothered me the most as far as that is no way to fucking live. And that is like the whole thing of it, like we'll get into it next time, but this one, that gold bug really, really messed with my brain.
And I have clinical insomnia. Like until I got it under control, it was crippling at times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I went a stretch of like 10 days without really sleeping.
Getting maybe an hour.
And I was just sobbing about it. And so like that, to actually kind of know how that feels and how fucked up you feel and how out of your body you feel. And especially if you're someone who has to be in control all the time, you are not in control.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it.
Because it's going to be good. Say stuff to us. You got something you want to blah, blah about us. Leave us a comment. All that good stuff.
Let us know, like, too, if you're a big fan. I always want to know, like, if you're a big Poe fan, like, I want to know what Poe stuff you like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, Telltale Heart is my jam. And so is
that's like, everyone. That's everything. Is Telltale Heart is everyone knows Telltale, everyone knows Raven. Those are the ones. And then there's a lot other that like I understand that reference, but I don't exactly know where that is from.
Yeah, I mean that's why I had to Google that that scorpion quote. I was like, that sounds incredible. I have no idea what that's about.
I know that. Why do I know that? Yeah.
I love it. Well, anything you want to finish up with, or
go get them?
Go get them, guys. Have an awesome week, and we'll be back to chat about the Gold Bug next time. Please catch, if you're interested and so inclined, the Articulate Coven. We're covering right now. We're doing movie nights, so our next episode is we're talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. So I'm very excited about Vampires in the Titty Bar. A very good time was had by all.
I like the Demeter episode a lot.
Oh, it's fun.
I love that movie, though. I like Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah, we just covered Last Voyage of the Demeter, and we'll be back with some episodes after the first of the year about finishing up Blood and Gold, Marius' story, and then we'll be jumping right into that Mayfair Witch extravaganza.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening and hanging out with us.
Thanks, y'all.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Flan-Again, a Mike Flan-Again rewatch from the Articulate Coven. If you want our videos and audio early and ad-free, visit articulatecoven.com/join and join the coven.